The truth is out there, and Trump's letting us see it. The UFO files keep dropping, hundreds of them, and America can't stop watching.
We're releasing a lot of information having to do with extraterrestrial things, and people are totally fascinated by it. It's amazing. I wasn't sure if they would enjoy it. It's literally trending #1. Can you believe it?
Well, we haven't seen E.T. yet. Some people think that day is coming soon. The White House is getting ready to roll one out, and they want some advice.
There's a lot of speculation, I'm hearing it from people inside the administration, that the Trump administration is indeed soliciting advice about how to tell the public that we're not alone. There are consultations taking place with spiritual leaders. I'm now able to confirm that.
Well, we still haven't seen everything, but UFO experts say the good stuff is coming if people keep pushing.
If people keep the pressure on, the records will come out, more of them, and they will be shocking, some of them. David Grush testified to bodies, non-human intelligence bodies. So there's got to be autopsies, there's got to be photographs and footage.
Now, we don't want to see an alien body just for the fun of it. We need to know what they're capable of, and if they're friendly or not. We need to be ready.
We are absolutely not alone in this universe. The biggest thing that concerns me with UAPs is the national security concern. It's the unknown. It's the fact that this technology does stuff that we can't do. And if we can't figure out what it is or what it wants or what it's being used for, that keeps me up at night in the idea that we're behind the power curve.
Brett Fedderson's a former White House National Security Council Director of Aviation Security, and this is Fedderson's first interview since the age of disclosure. Brett, you mentioned that this keeps you up at night. Tell us why.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, Jesse. The reason it does is twofold. One is the fact that this type of technology is not man-made. It's nothing that we can build or have built or are using out there. And the fact that we're seeing it so prevalently on a regular basis globally makes it a national security threat. Additionally, the fact that it is out in our airspace and all around as travel is moving on, that it is a flight safety issue as well. And it's something that needs to be continued to be pressed, needs to be addressed and tracked.
What do you think? You're going to see like commercial airlines crash into UFOs?
You know, surprisingly, there has been a large uptick in commercial airline pilots reporting UAPs on a daily basis, is what the FBI and the FAA are telling us. Since the stigma has been broken, mainly because of movies like The Age of Disclosure, pilots, both in the military and in the commercial sector, are coming forward with what they're seeing, aren't as afraid to actually say, I've seen something that's not a drone, it's not another flight object, it's something we don't understand.
And when we see these, describe the level of technological superiority.
Yeah, so we've been seeing these obviously for decades. You know, the idea at the Age of Disclosure came was that Dan Farah was able to get us to 34 senior officials to trust him and break our silence about an 80-year cover-up about UAPs and non-human intelligent life. When we're seeing these, we're seeing very bright orbs, very bright objects that are emitting some energy, but they're not showing propulsion. They're instantaneously taking off into different directions. Again, things that physics has inhibited us from being able to do as humans. We're continuing to see that type of technology proliferate. It's interesting to note that several of the astronauts and several of the earlier days where fighter pilots were reporting them during World War II, the same type of descriptions are exactly what we're seeing now in the files and the videos that are being released.
Well, then it absolutely is a national security threat, and it does seem, according to the reporting, that this administration's having discussions about how to break this to the American people. And when that day comes, oh my God, that's going to be historic. Well, Brett, thank you so much for talking to us and coming forward, and we wish you the best. It looks like we're all on this journey together. Be sure to like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.